Let's talk about a change. A change that didn't show up with a bang, but one that just sort of rolled in. A quiet shift.
You know, we all had these grand ideas about what the AI revolution would look like. We pictured giant robots on assembly lines, these huge dramatic moments. But that's just not how it went down, was it? No, it was way more subtle. It just seeped into our spreadsheets, our documents, our daily tasks, until one day we woke up and couldn't quite remember how we ever worked without it.
So let's just pause for a second. A quick personal inventory check. Think about your job right now, what you actually do all day. Are you a creator, truly bringing something new into the world? Are you a strategist, making the big, tough calls? Or, and be honest, are you really just a very sophisticated workflow manager, connecting tool A to tool B, managing outputs? Because you have to understand, the machine, it doesn't care about your job title.
Cast your mind back just a few years. Do you remember what an office used to sound like? That low hum of activity. The energy of a real brainstorm. People talking over each other with ideas. The spontaneous chats by the coffee machine. Even that shared panic of hitting a big deadline together. That human noise, that was the soundtrack of getting things done.
The first wave arrived with such a beautiful, reassuring promise, didn't it? AI augmentation. It was a simple and, frankly, very seductive idea. These tools weren't here to replace you. Oh, no. They were here to make you better. They were your co-pilot, your assistant, the secret weapon that would make you smarter, faster, and more productive than ever.
And boom, suddenly, they were everywhere. I mean, you know the names. ChatGPT writing your emails, Opus Clips slicing up your videos, Midjourney creating your images, Notion organizing your entire life. Every team, from marketing to product, grabbed them with both hands. And the crazy thing is, the promise actually came true. We became unbelievably efficient.
And we cheered, we absolutely loved it. We felt so empowered. One person could now do the work of a whole team. We were superheroes of productivity. We got so caught up in the speed that we never stopped to consider the logical end to that equation.
So the result was predictable. It was simple math, really. Why pay for a team of 5 when one person, armed with the right AI tools, could deliver the same output? So companies did what companies do. They optimized. And as the headcounts shrank and the profit margins soared, the office just got quieter.
We were promised this perfect, efficient system, but the reality on the ground, well, that turned out to be something different. The informal mentorship from a senior colleague, that was replaced by a performance metric on a dashboard. The gut feeling, that deep human insight from an experienced manager, replaced by an algorithm's suggestion. That personal touch, it just kind of dissolved into the data stream.
And what about that layer of middle management? You know, the people who used to run the teams. Well, they became the next inefficiency in the system that needed to be optimized away. A few of them got retrained, got new titles like AI strategist, basically managing the systems that made their old jobs obsolete. Most of them didn't. Which brings us right here to today. 71%, according to the latest data, 71% of consumers in the US now expect unemployment to go up in the next year. Just let that number sit there for a moment. More than 7 out of 10 people.
And the speed of this change in sentiment is just staggering. Look at this. That feeling, that anxiety has more than doubled in less than a single year. The market, you see, isn't emotional, it's not sentimental, it is ruthlessly efficient. And now people are really starting to feel what that efficiency means.
And to put that number in context for you, this isn't normal. This is the highest level of economic anxiety we've seen in decades. It's a bigger number than we saw during the 2008 global financial meltdown. That quiet fog from the beginning, it's starting to look a whole lot like a storm on the horizon. But here's the thing. From another point of view, this is an incredible success story. For the companies who manage to optimize their human capital down to a rounding error, and for the investors who own a piece of those companies, and the AI itself, this is a golden age. Profits have never been better. The market always rewards efficiency.
So where does this road end? Let's just follow the logic all the way to its final and, frankly, completely absurd destination. If a human worker is an expensive, inefficient liability to be minimized, what does earning a living even look like in the future? Well, it might look something like this: the robot servant economy.
Here's how it works. In this future, you don't go out and get a job. Instead, you go to a bank and get a loan. Not for a house, but for a productive asset, a certified servant robot.
That robot then goes to work 24/7 at a totally automated factory. The money it generates first goes to pay off its own loan, its maintenance plan, and the factory's cut. You get to keep whatever's left.
Let's be crystal clear about what's happening here. This is a complete inversion of value. For all of human history, our labor is what created value. But in a perfectly optimized system, human labor, with its annoying need for salaries and healthcare and weekends off, is just a cost. It's a liability on a balance sheet. The robot, tireless and cheap, is the asset.
Think about what that means. Your ability to put food on the table isn't tied to your skills, your experience, or how hard you work anymore. It is tied directly to your ability to finance a piece of equipment. In this world, your very survival depends on your credit score.
Which leads us back to the one final question that this whole quiet shift demands we answer. In an economy that has been perfectly engineered to see people as a cost to be minimized, what exactly is a human being worth?